Hello, my name is Joshua Keith, and this is theburningcoal.com, a website dedicated to God's glory, His grace, and our response to it. Today we're going to talk about being thankful for companions. I think it's really telling when we go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 20. Now, in this context, God has created Adam, and then He creates all the animals of the earth. And the animals come before Adam, and Adam gives them names. But it's not just about giving them names, as we see here in verse 20. It says, "The man gave names to all livestock, and to the birds of the heavens, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helper fit for him." One of the things that I think the Lord is doing whenever He has Adam interact with all of these animals is to see that Adam needs more, that Adam needs a companionship that these animals are not able to provide him. And so we see what God does a little bit later down, where He does create for Adam Eve so that they can be companions together, so that they are able to help and encourage one another. And I think it is in this that God tells us about ourselves, in that we do need companionship. Now, this does not mean that all of us have to be married in order to have contentment or to be able to be strengthened by relationships. In fact, we see that Paul, the apostle, he never married, as far as the scriptures indicates, and he talks about this a few different times. But he was still having these relationships with people. They were very important to who he was, to encouraging him. He calls Timothy his son, and then at the end of his life, as he is ready to go to heaven, but also as he is struggling with being alone, as some had deserted him, he wants Timothy to try to make it to him, to be able to spend time with him. And so it is important for us to understand that we need companions, and that God, in His wisdom, made sure that we had it. And we need to be thankful for that. We need to be thankful for the fact that God has given us companions really in many forms. First of all, there's family that we have as companions. Now, of course, this can be husband and wife, like we see with Adam and Eve, but it's also your parents or your children, your siblings, your cousins. There are a lot of different ways that we have family, but God created us as a family so that we could learn from each other, encourage one another, strengthen one another. But we also have been blessed with friends, those that we meet along our journey. There's people that God has placed in our life, that they've been with us through thick and thin. They've been with us through very difficult times, and they provided companionship when we needed it. And so we need to be thankful that God has given us these friends, that He's brought those people into our lives so that they could be an encouragement and a strength for us in our times of weakness. But even more, God has given us the church. And we see that this was by God's design. Again, He knew that we were not to be alone. He knew this about Adam, that he shouldn't be the only man on the earth. And He knew that Christians should not be the only Christian on the earth. And they shouldn't try to take this walk on by themselves without the support of other people. And so He gave us the church. He gives us all of these people so that they can be His light to us in our darkest time. They can be that strength when we are weak. And so we should take a moment and thank God for the people in our life. And yes, they are not always perfect, and sometimes people that you thought were going to be there for you, they let you down, and that happens. But there are so many people that God has given us that don't do that, that treat us well, that love us, that are part of His family. And we need to be thankful for all of those people and the things that they do for us. I hope this lesson blesses you in your walk in His kingdom.